Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good morning everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another edition of the AccessTheTrader.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is doing well. Guys, take a second out, support the channel, click a like, and hopefully I will continue to help you out, right? Help you out on a day-to-day basis. So let's talk about facts, right? I always emphasize facts. I always emphasize data. I trade on data. I trade on facts. I'm trading on opinion. I'm not that smart. Matter of fact, again, if this is the first time you are watching this broadcast, I am the king of the idiots, but I've been doing this for 26 years, so I kind of know how the movie ends. I might not have all the answers, but I've seen pretty much all the questions. And a lot of times traders believe that they know where the market's going. They believe that their portfolio is Teflon. Nothing's going to happen. A bull market is always going to go higher. And traditionally, you're absolutely right. You go back to the last 200 years, you know that the market has been absolutely generational. No matter when you started investing, you are probably at your all-time highs, depending how long you've been investing. Matter of fact, if you look at the monthly chart on the QQQs, kind of represents that. However, we're traders, right? We're traders, and we don't care about where the market's going to be 3 months from now. We care where the market's going to be tomorrow, again, based on our data. And if you've been watching this broadcast just for the last 2 weeks, I've been literally giving you guys, kind of a thank you very much for tuning in, kind of levels on the Qs, right? Levels on the Qs and what I thought was happening. The idea that speculation money started leaving the building. Again, correct me if you heard this before, all the uranium names and the rare earth names, they started dying out. They started losing, back testing previous channels lows. The big leaders, the Microsofts, the Metas of the world, they're dying on earnings. And then you had kind of the trade, right? Kind of the retail trade. You got to go long Tesla into the meeting. Elon's package. You got to go long. And I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going long. Being the same trade as the same time as retail. Hell no. Stock absolutely imploded. And then you had the next case scenario. You had, the government's opening up. You got to be long with the government opening up. And I'm like, again, I have to go back to Wednesday's video. I was like, there's no way in hell. This is, there's no possible way based on the data of everything selling the last 2 weeks that this is good news. The market absolutely imploded and had it kind of here we are. If you've been watching along, the last area of the Qs we talked about was that 1680s, right? 1680s. So guys, watch the 1680s. If it loses that, we should get back to the 50-day moving average. This was on Wednesday's video. This wasn't 2 months ago. This was literally on Wednesday's video. The market absolutely imploded for the last 2 days. Qs were down about 5% going into the pre-market. Of Friday session. And then basically I turned around, I go, guys, during morning strategy, I'm like, hey guys, let's watch this. If you've been following along, especially if you've been in the webinar, you kind of know I've been 99.9% of all my trades in the last 2 weeks was to the downside. Like literally, it's just been, you can see because of the data, stocks are breaking down levels, causing technical damage. And I woke up on Friday and I saw another big gap down, and I turned around during morning strategy. I was like, hey guys, let's watch that 598.67. That is last week lows. That's also the 50-day moving average going back to last week. Again, if you're brand new to trading, right? If you're brand new to trading, just understand this. If you get nothing out of me, right? Literally nothing out of me, learn nothing from me. Just remember, over the 50 days bullish, below the 50-day, rip out your buy button. You're not going to want to be long. And the most important part is we identified last week's lows, right? And this was literally, for the exception of maybe some range bounces I've been taking, throughout the week on Tesla. This was literally, I think, my only long natural trade probably this week, right? Probably this week. The first time around, it tested 598.60s. I got long, it held, I got long. It didn't hold. I wound up losing like 30 cents. I was like, whatever, right? Stock came, Qs came in. But once they reclaimed back the second time, this was one of the best bounces I could remember in a very, very long time. And this was it. I mean, this was it right here. I mean, Qs went all the way up to, honestly, they went to 613. I got long in the 599 remount. I think all of us pretty much did. This was awesome, right? It was absolutely awesome. And this is, again, here's where I was thinking, right? I mean, last week we were above the 50-day moving average. This week's low is going to be the 65 EMA, right? If these two levels hold, the Q should bounce. And that's exactly what we got. We got a really, really aggressive bounce off the lows. But here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. The problem now is if you look at the bounces, and I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, pretty substantial trader, and he kind of echoed what he was basically saying all day on Friday. After the initial bounce, you really didn't see a lot of stocks participate on that last bounce. Matter of fact, if you go right, if you look at the scoreboard, and granted, there were great bounces off their lows. But if this was a significant bounce, you would have seen, for example, Qs up 8, Nvidia up 7, right? AMD up 12, right? So look at the final results, right? Look at the final results. Okay, you got Nvidia up 4. That's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. $4 bounce. The problem is the stock came in from 211 all the way to 180, up $4. Okay, cool. I'll give you that, right? I'll give you that. PLTR up $3. All right, cool. Again, granted, they had huge bounces, huge bounces. But if you look at the majority of these stocks, they did nothing. After that first bounce, they did nothing for the rest of the day, which is very, very peculiar, right? Again, just something to think about, okay? And then you start looking at names, for example, like Tesla. Surely Tesla ran up 20, up a couple of bucks, right? Surely AMD was up 20, down $1, right? Surely Meta was up 30 on that bounce, right on the day. You see where I'm going with this? Apple should have been up at least $5, $6 right on the day. Amazon surely rallied, correct? Right on the day. So how do we make this, right? How do we go forward from this? Okay. Yes, again, for the 8th time, the bounce from the lows was spectacular, right? Tesla was at 380s pre-market, went to like 410, 411, whatever the hell it was. Spectacular. But on the scoreboard, it showed after the initial big reversal, again, we went sideways on everything. So how do we read into this? Okay. So far now, if you are a perma bull, right? If you're a perma bull, the market is giving you 2 warning signs, okay? It's giving you 2 warning signs. So what's those 2 warning signs? They've tested now twice the 50-day moving average and held, okay, the 2 times in the last 6 sessions, right? That's 2 out of 6 days. We've tested the 50-day moving average and held, okay? We know this. We also know when the market had a chance to actually rally into the reopening of the government, again, you go back to the whole week of videos, we failed to reclaim back the 10-day moving average. We know that as well, okay? So how am I proceeding here? I think, is there a chance we bounce another day, Monday, right, which is tomorrow? Sure, right? Sure. But now the difference between Monday's potential bounce and Friday's potential bounce, I got long off the 50-day moving average reclaim. There's no safety net, right? There's literally no safety net going back tomorrow. And because the bounce was so aggressive, okay, majority of stocks are in the middle of their channels, which basically means that's a coin flip, which basically means that's a chop day. I'm personally looking at tomorrow, unless we sell off. Okay, that's going to be a whole different conversation. But I'm looking at tomorrow as it could be a throwaway day. And the reason why I say that, from my point of view, your point of view can be completely different. From my point of view, if the market did indeed hold a double bottom, and as of right now on the surface, it did, okay? And as long as we stay above the 50-day moving average, you are fine, okay? But the problem for me, right, if every stock is in the middle of their channel, that means they're nowhere near Friday's highs and they're nowhere near Friday's lows. That means tomorrow, the majority of these stocks have to do a lot of the heavy lifting for us to get back to Friday's highs or get back to Friday's lows. So for me, I'm looking at tomorrow as kind of a mental rest day. And if the market kind of does something that's going to surprise me, then I'll trade aggressively. But I'm looking, it's very rare that I go into a trading day going, there's a good chance I'm probably going to be just an observer looking for data to see how the market responds. But again, if the bulls give up, right? If the bulls give up and the data suggests that it's going to be very, very tough to reclaim back the previous day's channels because they already got rejected from it. If there is a scenario, the bulls give this bounce back, guys, as a professional trader, okay, the market only gives you a couple of chances to get your ducks in a row, okay? The market already told us we held the 50-day once, we held the 50-day twice. If we lose the 50-day moving average, guys, I'm even going to give you, I've been giving you the prices of these bottom ranges all the way down, okay? So I'm going to give you the ultimate line in the sand. 597 right now, guys, okay? 597 is the low of this channel. Any close below 597 not only gets rid of this double bottom, we lose the 50-day moving average. Now, before somebody turns around and go, the market's oversold. Does this look like a market that's oversold? Right? Trade the market you have, not the market you want. So going into tomorrow, I'm kind of delta neutral. I'm not really enthusiastic. I think I need probably tomorrow and into Tuesday's day to see if the bulls can bounce again. If they can't bounce again, we start losing Friday's lows. Again, above the 50-day moving average, bullish. Below the 50-day moving average, well, you know what's what. Other than that, congratulations. You've outlasted Michael Berry in this business. For all you guys who don't know who Michael Berry is, he was one of the primary people who took advantage betting against the housing market back in 2007, 2008. And ironically, he had, he came out and said, I'm putting on really, really big size, or put on really big size on PLTR, NVIDIA. And as he closed down his hedge funds, they absolutely imploded. I get it. He was shorting them way too early, so he's big underwater. But it's kind of ironic how majority of people have outlasted Michael Berry in this business. Also, Monday, right? Tomorrow is kind of hopefully a big event. Netflix splits, right? 10 for 1. Splits 10 for 1. It will be back at $110. Doesn't mean I won't short it. Doesn't look great. I will watch this thing if it loses below the 10-day moving average. I will be more interested in Netflix if the liquidity comes back. I think that's the most important thing that every trader wants to see who trades in Netflix or hasn't traded in years. If the liquidity comes back, I'm assuming now it's going to be a $110 stock versus an $1,100 stock. Right. Let's cross our fingers, and hope for the best. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see. NVIDIA reports, I think it's either next week or this week. That's going to be the last mega cap technology name that probably can move the needle. So there's, obviously still $200 calls being bet on that. But the most important thing is going into this week, guys. We know we have the major line in the sand. We know the importance of the 50-day moving average. And now we have to see which side confirms. Guys, have a great night, everybody. God bless. Enjoy your Sunday. And I will see you on the field tomorrow.